I pay about 60, 70 bucks a month for someone to do my website. If you guys want to make money, a boatload of money, if you know anything about internet services, call me or some other realtors once you figure out how to do the internet and just sell it to me. People call me all the time and ask me to buy stuff. It's just incredible. Because any type of professional license, we're in business, right? I spend money. I always spend money on our website, 60, 70 bucks a month. Well, if you can do it for virtually free, if you have your own servers, you call up a real estate agent, it can be in any country, any city, anywhere, not only in this country, and you can have them pay. So this is framing in a different person's website. I have no idea how to build this, right? So if you click on one of these pictures here, it takes you to all new homes in the whole St. Louis region. I have no idea how to do that. So all I did was I took my website and framed it in the other one. So now I offer new home services, which is another big market in St. Louis. Things I'd say about new homes is when you buy a new home, no one's lived in it. You don't have those nice finishing touches. You don't have multiple coats of paint on your walls. So as soon as you nick it, it's not the durability that a normal house would have. Other things, the city of St. Louis, and I'm sure other cities, are broken up into different neighborhoods. So Google Maps, one of the things I try to do to add value, if someone says, I want to be in a certain neighborhood, then where are the neighborhood lines? I have no idea. So I went out there and I drew them based on roads. This is actually a free Google map you could just go to. You click on different neighborhoods and you pull up a lot of different information on it. One of the biggest things today in real estate is actually leased property. Homes for lease is by far the best thing in the world. There was a young lady here in the last session that asked about, what if I'm going to move after 3 years? Do I want to buy a house right out of college, live there for, say, St. Louis or Kansas City or Columbia here for 3 years, and then potentially move for a job? Well, or go somewhere else, or whatever the case may be. There's different things right now with lease and lease-to-own properties. It's very lucrative because all these people are losing their homes in bankruptcies and short sales, and they can't get a mortgage. Nobody will give them a mortgage unless they put down something like 50%, which they don't have because they just lost their house. So what I do is go out there, and people call me up off the internet all the time. They're like, well, do you do lease property? It's so, I make maybe $200 to $300, after which I get 5% to RE/MAX and half of it to my broker, so I make maybe 60 bucks to drive around all over St. Louis, spend my gas money to show somebody you know, $1,000, $1,200 house. It's not worth it. I lose money on it just driving around. So what I do is I have people go on here and I can still help them, right? Because eventually they might know someone that wants to buy or sell a house, or they might turn into buyers. And at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. As long as you're helping someone out, that's really all you're doing. I wouldn't say it's good karma, it's good business. So I'll do that, and I always call it the listing agent. But it's good to provide the different services in terms of real estate as a whole package. This is the international listings I have. It's something I pay separate for. So real estate today, I know there's a lot of people. Is anyone here doing international business at all? So we got maybe a handful. So international business, in terms of real estate, is huge. Vacation homes and all that stuff, even though the United States market may not be heating up, who cares? It doesn't matter. We can make money off everyone else. In fact, I'd rather get paid in euros than in American dollars, because by the time I convert it back, I'd make 30% premium on my money. So I'd much rather sell something in a different country.
So you've sold some internationally?
Nope, I've got a listing internationally. The only thing I've done international is I had a guy from Montenegro off the Adriatic Sea hit me up on my website. He's like, can you help me sell my house? I'm like, sure, absolutely. So you got to find a local realtor, which nobody wants to work with us. And I couldn't understand his language, right? So he had broken English, but all the documents he has, because I need to make sure he actually owns that house. He sends it over, and I have no idea if these are legit or right. Like, so they're all PDFs. So I take them, I forward them to the RE/MAX office over there. I said, is this legit? They said, yes. So I know my paperwork's legit. I could have gone through and translated on like Google Fish or whatever. There's no way in God's green earth I'm doing that. There's too much liability. So I just did that. And then the biggest problem is he's explaining his houses. And this is something that I'll get to in a second. But if someone's taking pictures of houses, would you rather see a video or a picture? Definitely a video, because you get depth perception, you can see what the whole room looks like. So I had the guy throw all his house videos on YouTube. And I'm like, that's what you were talking about. He actually had a 3-story building, 2 separate apartments on top that are unfinished, his living quarters, and then 3 separate offices down the bottom. And I'm like, that's a house? What are you talking about? I mean, I have no idea what he was talking about. Partially because his English was so bad too. But so it was really interesting. The other ones I work with is a gentleman down in Texas, and it's called International Real Estate Specialist. And what it basically is, it's a network, kind of like our fraternity is, where you leverage the different relationships. As long as I bring a buyer or seller to the table, I get a percent of it, and so does everybody else. So this is why RE/MAX, this is why I'm part of RE/MAX. Basically, I was showing you this for the different leads. So in the last year, I've got about 12 leads. A lot of these leads are pretty weak. So how do you grow business? If you guys want to get into business in the real estate or anywhere else, the number one thing you need is business. You need customers. You need leads. So I pay for this. This is something I pay my 5% for. Does it help? Absolutely. It helps in basically 2 ways. If I'm working for RE/MAX, you know if I goof up, you can sue RE/MAX. Pretty good, right? It's better than suing Chris Roeseler because I don't got anything. So if you're going to come after somebody, you come after RE/MAX. Now, not only that, but it also provides leads. So it's free business that comes into me, and it has actually worked. So when you get this business, right, let's say you're a rock star, you're just getting people calling you left and right, and you just don't know what you're doing, right? You got so much going on. It's really hard to manage your phone when it just keeps ringing, and people keep calling you, you're talking to Mary, Joe, and Bob, and you show all these people houses, you got Mary, Joe, and Bob 2 the next day, and 3 the next day, and by the time Friday, you got all these new people you just met, and you're still working with people from 3 weeks ago, you're like, I have no idea what's going on. So new technology out there is awesome. And the stuff like this is free. It's basically just called Listing Book, and there's a bunch of other free ones out there. So I throw people on there and I say, okay, when's the last time they logged in? At least people logged in 11 days ago. I got people that go back 6 different sheets back that have never logged in. But I look on here, I say, okay, I just met off the internet. She called me up randomly, looking to buy something. These people have been looking forever. This is a guy that just graduated recently, started his first job, and he's looking at houses. He's looking really often. I see him looking every day. He's a serious buyer. So how do I analyze my business, right, as a small business owner? I need to know who's in the game and who's actually not. Because I only got so much time in the day, I only got so much gas money too. So I'm not going to go around and show people that have never looked at houses or even attempt to contact them. Some of these people I've worked with for a really long time, other people I've literally just met off the internet. My good friend Joe Howard went to Mizzou here. Actually, I'm going out to Florida with him in a couple weeks, can't wait. But he called me up, he's like, hey, I want to buy a house. Sweet. He's still looking at houses. Now his father's got a boatload of money, and they go around, they do investment property. So seeing them look on there excites me, right? So it keeps ways to analyze and to see what's going on in your business. Everybody's seen Craigslist. The only reason I threw this up here, if you guys don't have this plug for Craigslist and you use Craigslist, you need it. The plug basically pulls up the pictures at the same time you see the listings. I use Google Chrome to do that, just a plug-in. It's by far the best way to look at Craigslist stuff. For sale by owner. For sale by owner is called FSBOs. If you talk to a real estate agent who's been in this business 20 years compared to me that's been in the business for 2 years, they absolutely hate FSBOs. They hate it with a passion. How dare you sell your house by yourself? I will strictly tell you that my goal in life is not to be a real estate agent. I've basically supported myself to get my glucose gummies business up and off the ground. I firmly support people that try to sell their own real estate. If it costs you 6% to sell your house, let's say it's a $200,000 house, that's 12 grand, right? Who wouldn't take 12 grand? That's a lot of money. So people that are looking to sell their house by their own, I think they're where we need to be as Deltasigs, to be quite honest with you. One of the biggest hurdles and fears is I don't want random people coming to my house. You can screen people out by using pre-approval letters. And there's so much technology today, you can actually market your house for free on the internet. And I advise people to do that. Now, if you're a busy person, you don't want to do it, and you see a lot of the older population that doesn't want to do it, that's understandable too. But 6% is a lot of money. So there's a lot of third-party websites out there, and this is how you get business. You go out there and you get a listing. So this gentleman contacted me. This is in Lake St. Louis, which is my favorite place in the world. And he actually lives right across from my uncle's house. So I'm out there just hanging out this summer, talking to him. His house is for sale. I'm like, how's your house doing? Not good at all. I looked up his house online. There's 3 pictures, and one of them's blurry. It's a $185,000 house. And it's been on the market for like 70 some odd days or something like that. And I said, how are you trying to sell your house when you got 3 pictures on there and it's $185,000? That's a fairly large asset for, you want somebody to look at it. So he also had some other issues going on, Christmas lights hanging off the roof, which, it's the summer, time to let those down. He also had a basketball hoop that had just the pole sticking up, and I'm like, man, we gotta cut that out. Like, we need curb appeal, badly. So, long story short, the other realtor, she's not doing the business anymore, and I got the listing. And so I went out there, took pictures. I'm having professional pictures taken as well. And we had an open house, and things were going well. What really matters, though, is right here, look at pretty little face, my name. People literally contact me off here. So I get free business off this. The internet's where people are going today. And all you need to do in business is make your phone ring. The law of numbers will work in your advantage. So there's other websites out there, too. This is Trulia. So it shows you all your different listings. Something I love about this, how many people have viewed my property? I really don't care, truly, how big that number gets, how small it gets. I care that I get one buyer that comes in and wants to buy that house. That's what the seller cares. But the seller doesn't really think that way. The seller goes, well, how many people are interested in my house? I can show them right here. It gives me a tool to give customer service. I can call people up and say, hey, look, I'm really sorry, your house at 235 is only worth $200,000. We had that conversation 2 days ago. It's a really hard conversation to have with somebody, especially because he leveraged $40,000, $50,000 to start a new business, so he needs that money. We got 518 views, and this house has been on the market less time, and we got 2,800 views. What house am I going to sell fastest? It's how do I know where to put my time and my energy? This is by far the best technology in the entire world, YouTube. So I don't know anyone else doing this, actually, anywhere. And my buyers and sellers love it. Absolutely love it. I go out there and I take videos of houses. I told you you get so much more depth perception. This house, we got 13 views, right? Not a whole lot of people looking at it. Sold this house after 136 views. This one's on a contract after 11. And I can show you, these are just a different number of counts. This is a 2-family, and I don't really want to go into a rental property and record people's rental property, so I'm not going to do one. But what I recently did for the woman that I just met off the internet, this is a condo that she hit me up about, and she said, let's see if I can get that going without getting too much audio on here. So she calls me up and she's like, hey, I really want to see this house. And I said, okay, well, you got to work today, don't you? You want to see 3 houses. Well, you know what I can do? I can go out there and shoot video about these 3 houses. Saves you the time and me the time of trying to make our schedules work. And that's one of the biggest things in real estate is how does I make my schedule meet your schedule? I can bypass that whole thing and no other real estate agent is doing this. So what I'm trying to do is get other people actually out there to record videos of their houses for sale too, because you know what it does? It saves me time from doing it. The other listing agents already got a video out there. So we took one video of this house, which I absolutely don't like. The roof's all bad and everything like that. It gives you perception inside the house. You see a lot of other agents doing type of video tours where they cut it up sometimes. It's kind of like HGTV, which is really hot right now, and you see a lot of people watching it. They're going out there and they're actually just splicing it, okay? Which I don't think is the best way to do it. So, one of the other big things going on today is networking. Networking is powerful. This is meetup.com, Southside Investment Club, SSIC. It's one of the best things I've seen in the entire country, and actually it's one of the best meetup.com sites because of it. If you are a real estate professional of any sort, attorney, realtor, title company, contractor, whomever, and not only in St. Louis, it could be anywhere. If you've got a question, I need an electrician, I don't know how to do this, what's the code, what's the law, how does this work? There's tons of different questions you could ask. You actually send out an email to the whole listserv that goes to thousands of people. Somebody might know that answer. If you've got a group of investment properties to sell, send out the email. I need an electrician. Fortunately, my neighbor just got laid off. He's a master electrician, right? He has a great job skill. You know what I did? Went on there, typed in electrician, found all these jobs you can go do. Money in his account. And that's the end of it. Awesome picture, right? So do we have questions? You guys have anything in particular about real estate that you're interested in before I jump into foreclosures real quick? So we could talk a lot about, say, first-time home buyers, the process of actually buying a house and what you need. Selling side is not nearly as much fun because today we're all buyers, particularly. Let me switch over.